Hey everyone, in case you missed it, I uploaded my top 10 favorite Switchfoot songs, which is something that if you're watching this video, you're probably going to be interested in. So you can check it out, linked in the description down below. You can click the card if you're on mobile, you can click the annotation on screen, or you can just head over to my channel and check it out. I hope you guys enjoy my review of Where the Light Shines Through. What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of album number 10 by the surfing rockers Switchfoot out of San Diego, California. They've become a five-piece over time, slowly adding in a keyboardist, an extra guitarist to round out their sound. I was really disappointed with their last release, Fading West, although I have been a big fan of these guys in the past. A very influential band for me, something that really played a big part in shaping the music taste and who I am now. Nothing is Sound, and of course the beautiful Letdown being massive records in the United States, and for me, they were just sweeping like my friends, and of course myself, just the community in general, off their feet and just playing this style of music that was popular at the time, but they were really making it their own with some heartfelt lyricism, and of course songs that really just knew how to captivate on mixing synthesizers, hard rock, and some of the acoustic guitar as well. On this new record, they are learning to balance things once again, not so heavily into the pop territory. That was the problem I was having last time through. With Where the Light Shines Through, it seems like they're a little bit back on track with actually adding in more organic instrumentation and sounding a little bit more like themselves. Some of the songs just really felt just weak in terms of their performances on Fading West. While I still see Where the Light Shines Through as an improvement over its predecessor, there still are some issues that are really limiting this album from reaching its full potential. They are back with the producer that produced the beautiful Letdown for them in 2003. He's produced a lot of pop records, a lot of stuff for like Disney Channel artists, and I know that's something that's going to be an immediate turnoff for some people. And even I see that and I'm thinking, okay, does that really fit Switchfoot's sound? But you have to remember, if you're a Switchfoot fan, he handled their 2003 record and really helped Jerome join that band. He had played in like industrial leaning stuff in the past. He was in a couple of bands in the 90s and early 2000s, and bringing that into Switchfoot sounds, the synthesizers and some of the more electronic elements, it really worked on tracks like More Than Fine, Gone, and some of the other catchy moments on that record. I thought they were well produced, so I was not afraid to see him tackling another Switchfoot project. And of course Switchfoot did some of the production themselves as well. Let's talk about what went right first, and that started immediately on this record for me. If you watched my top 10 countdown, you know how much I love the opening track, Holy Water. It totally just blew my expectations as to what to expect from Switchfoot in 2016. I didn't even know that they were still capable of turning out a song like this. Lots of biblical references packed into this track, I think. I know that it's not going to connect with everyone, and I feel like it was presented in a way so that it's not taken just as one thing. Holy water can just be a symbol for life and reinvigoration, and holy water is exactly that for Switchfoot. If there were more rejuvenating and refreshing tracks like this packed onto the record, I feel like I would be a lot more on board with it, because Holy Water kills on every level. It's so well done. Jerome's part on this track is fantastic. I love that looping piano that really just leads in to kind of that like synth hit that you see here. It does remind me a little bit of their earlier days, and at the same time a new edge. It's kind of like dark, mysterious vibe coming out of a haze starting off this record, and then Foreman's unmistakable vocals on this track just really packing in a huge punch here, especially once we get to the bridge of this song. The guitars just come to life, a huge roar, a kick start to the heart, and it sounds phenomenal here. I cannot give this song enough praise. If you don't even check out the whole album, you cannot miss Holy Water if you're a Switchfoot fan. I hinted at this earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and discuss it a little bit further here. I do like the use of more organic instrumentation here. It just feels a little bit more like natural Switchfoot, them in their natural territory. And even on moments that I'm not as crazy about in terms of the lyrical department, like Live It Well, which I believe was the first song released off of this album, and Shake This Feeling, they're starting to grow on me because I can feel there was actually some energy in the studio whenever creating these songs. Creativity was a huge problem for the band on the last record, and I do feel like they've stepped it up a bit on this album. They're playing a little bit more intricately here once again, and we're getting denser layers, I suppose, and something to actually sink our teeth into. And while not every track feels that great in terms of the lyrical department, there are ones that really make up for that in terms of what they present us. Just look at the track that comes kind of in the middle of this record that I'm really enjoying, If the House Burns Down Tonight. Basically talking about just how life is fleeting, possessions don't matter. If this house burned down tonight, the relationship that you have with maybe your significant other or your family, whoever it may be that you care for in your life, that's what matters. Real human connections between people, whoever it may be. Worry about that, because all of these things that you see in life, while they might be nice to have, would you rather have them or would you rather have the people in your life? And obviously they are really onto something here. I just haven't heard a song like this before. The pacing of this song is absolutely perfect. I love the rushing guitar that really just adds to this urgent feel of the song. You really want to connect with what he's saying here, and it really builds up, especially during the chorus. It's just fast, it's quick, but you're listening and taking in every single word. Switchfoot have always been one of those bands that have attempted to inspire over the years. I do feel like they've hit the nail on the head a lot of times, and they do it a couple of times here as well. Unfortunately, there are once again some cheesy moments like Healer of Souls, Shake This Feeling, and even parts of The Day That I Found God, even though I really do like the message of that song, that just I could do without, just because they feel so sappy or just so like I heard this before on one of your earlier records. But we get the closer on this record, that's just a really emotional and heartfelt track that maybe I didn't connect with right off the bat. It's one that you really have to settle in with, and once you actually start to see what this song's wanting to accomplish, you see that Hope Is the Anthem really is an inspiring track. The title track on this record takes a little bit more of a rock and roll approach, and I like the grittier aspects of this track. It doesn't really feel consistent with what the majority of the record is doing, but it's actually okay with me at this point. It comes right after the lead single Float, which I do feel like is catching a lot of flack from fans, but it's actually a pretty catchy tune. It's got that bass groove going on there, Tim Foreman doing his thing, and it's just got something that I could see being really, really catchy for fans, maybe at a show or something like that. And it's got that kind of mellow guitar groove that just starts coming through, and I like it. It's kind of stripped back, but it reminds me of like the 90s in a way. I don't know why that's calling that to mind for me, but there's a couple of tracks here that are taking me back to that mindset, and maybe earlier Switchfoot. But at the same time, it does have a very processed chorus, and there's a little bit of echo and reverb on the vocals that kills it a little bit for me, but I do feel like it's a pretty catchy and fun tune. Bowl in a China Shop is another one that really surprised me with more of its straightforward rock direction. It's a track that's just talking about shaking things up, obviously. A bowl and a shop full of glassware, it's not gonna end well, and I feel like Foreman here is just saying that he wants to kind of take things and turn them upside down. Shake it up, have some fun, let loose. The guitars on this track are a lot of fun, especially the little intricate solo thing that's kind of going on in the background towards the end of this track. It seems like they're having a lot of fun. There's a great outro that just kind of carries over and eventually fades out, and I do feel like this is turning into one of my favorite songs on the album. Okay, I said some nice things about this record. You're probably thinking, John likes this album a lot. Unfortunately, that's not really the case. I mean, I do like some of these songs. Obviously, I just highlighted the ones that I'm really enjoying. But unfortunately, other than that, the moments just feel very weak, not only in the lyrical department, like I've already called out, just some of the production choices just flatline for me, and it just makes these songs so routine and monotonous. And the last thing that I want whenever I'm listening to Switchfoot or music in general is just basicness. Basicness. I don't think that's a word, sorry. Shake This Feeling feels sing-songy. I Won't Let You Go, trying to reach those high falsetto notes, and it just doesn't do anything for me whatsoever. Live It Well, just serviced for AC, pop, Christian radio, and it feels like nothing more than that. And even Healer of Souls falls into similar territory. Collaborating with Christian rapper Lecrae on Looking for America, I understand the whole political agenda here and what you're wanting to get across. Make our country great again, turn our country back to God, or else open up our religious viewpoints, even though I feel like we're open to a lot of things. I feel like Christianity is often dismissed and shut down. I understand what you're talking about with Looking for America, but these two things, Switchfoot and this rapping, it does not mesh well. I'm not saying that it can't be done, but just bringing Lecrae on here, it doesn't seem like a genuine connection. I downgraded Switchfoot's last album, Fading West, to a 2.5 after repeated listens. I took it in, I had friends that would listen to it pretty often, so it just really started to sink in that this is not the album that Switchfoot really set out to make, I don't think, whenever they made Fading West. And I do hear traces of that once again, unfortunately, in tracks like Live It Well, Healer of Souls, I Won't Let You Down. I see those influences, and I see that they were trying, I feel like, a little bit harder to kind of carve them out and make something a little bit more gritty, or else just in your face for the fans to make things more entertaining, but unfortunately that does fail. Not too often, not as often, but it still happens on this record, unfortunately. I wanted to like Where the Light Shines Through a lot more than I actually do. I'm gonna go with a 3 out of 5 for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Switchfoot's 10th album, Where the Light Shines Through. Keep in mind, I just did a top 10 favorite Switchfoot songs, like I mentioned at the start of this video. You can click the little little annotation below me or the link in the description, or if you want to see another Switchfoot review that I've did on this channel, you can also click that annotation there. Thanks so much for watching, hitting the like button here, subscribing to the channel because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. If there's other albums you'd like to see me tackle, maybe another top 10 you'd like to see me do, let me know in the comment section, of course. And if you're curious, you can support the videos on Patreon. Help me keep making videos like this, reviews, top 10s, everything that I do on Beyond ARTV, my second channel as well. It's the top link in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon on ARTV.